Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about guilt and shame. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit that bell. Question for you, do you know the difference between guilt and shame? If you want to know more, stay with me for a few minutes. Put your feet up, relax, let's do this. So guilt and shame, where does it come from? We hear it a lot. Those are buzzwords maybe. Let's talk about something else. Before we get to the guilt and shame parts, how do we even get there? Well, we feel guilty or we feel shame about stuff that happens in our past. Anything, whether real or perceived. And that's probably the key here. What we perceive as a mistake that has happened in the past. Doesn't matter if it was a real mistake or not. If we perceive it as a mistake, that's the reality we create in our mind. So for example, I've been talking about addiction lately in my videos. Well, if you know anyone who has an addiction, if you are a former addict yourself or currently, you know that you have made some mistakes, you have burned some bridges, you've done some things that you're not proud of. And recovery is a beautiful thing, and it helps us to get to a new point in our life, a new chapter, and I'm thankful for the tools, people, resources that make that happen. But after the drugs and alcohol get out of our system or the other destructive behaviors get out of our system, we still carry on a lot of things right here, and that's what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not an addict. Maybe other things happened in your life that you're not proud of, mistakes. Maybe you're a jackass before in your past and now you've become a new person. You're more loving, more caring, whatever, but you're carrying around some things that you did in your life that where you knew that you were not nice to somebody, you were mean, whatever. Maybe you had marriages that did not work out and you feel like you've made mistakes or people remind you of those mistakes, whatever you want to call it. We carry around stuff with us so much. It is so absolutely detrimental to our self-esteem and the love that we have for ourselves. So what's the difference between guilt and shame? Let's talk about guilt first. Guilt is something that we need. If you want to have any kind of conscience about something you've done wrong, it is our compass. It helps us to figure out, oh my gosh, I've made a mistake. Oh my gosh, I've screwed up. Oh my, I've hurt somebody's feelings. We need that guilt. Now, as a therapist, I try to help people not to have too much guilt because it wrecks their lives. But as far as us trying to navigate through life and interacting with people and making choices on a daily basis, we need the guilt to help us to figure out, okay, I've gotten off course a little bit. That's fine. I have something up here telling me, oh, let's redirect and go forward. Now, shame. It's ugly cousin, I would call it. Shame is something that happens when you think or believe that you're a bad person. Guilt is about our actions, and we made a bad choice. We made a conscious decision to do something in a way that does not have a positive outcome. But our shame keeps us in prison because it sends messages to us on a daily basis, sometimes hourly basis, sometimes minute to minute basis. I'm a bad person. I am not worthy. I am no good at this or whatever you want to fill in the blank with. We don't like ourselves because we think that internally we've got major problems, and worse than that, we believe that it's unfixable. So here's the question, what do you do about it? You have guilt, but more importantly, you have shame that you cannot get rid of. And let me tell you right now, if you don't deal with the shame and about the self-loathing, you are going to be held back in some way or another. I'm not going to say you're going to be poor and miserable and whatnot, but in some way or another, the body keeps the score. I'll do a whole other video about that some other time. Body keeps the score. Yes, you may be able to keep your shit together. Great. You're successful. You're making money. You're wealthy right now. But if you have shame, maybe your relationships suffer. Or maybe you're not taking care of yourself enough because you don't feel like you deserve enough, because you don't like yourself enough, because you have that shame. So how do you deal with the shame? And let me just get a little real with you all here. I've been there. I still am there sometimes. I had those feelings of guilt and shame. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, believe me, which is why I get so transparent with my clients sometimes, because I am no different. Just because I have my education and have my experience and I'm sitting in this chair, the therapist chair, doesn't mean I have my own stuff to deal with, my own baggage that I struggle with on a daily basis. Believe me, I know I've made mistakes in the past. And believe me, there are other people out there who sometimes remind me of those mistakes. And that also can be a whole nother video to how we deal with people who would like to remind us about how bad they think we are, and we believe them. So the first step to overcoming that shame is self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness. Yes, we should forgive others because it makes life so much damn easier when we're not holding on to that stuff. But for ourselves, we are the hardest people to forgive, which is why it's so much more crucial to be able to deal with that so that we begin to clear out the cobwebs, clear out the mud, the dirt, the debris that we've been carrying around so long that weighs us down. Self-forgiveness, what does that look like? Do you literally say, if my name is Patrick, do I say, I forgive you, Patrick? Well, yes, that can be one way. Another way is showing yourself love. That's part of forgiveness. That's part of self-care, is the self-forgiveness. Doing things for yourself that are healthy for yourself. But you literally have to let some things go. And again, from experience, you can let something go today and it'll creep back up. Something will trigger it. Person, place, or thing. I guarantee you, something will trigger it. Your job is to find some way for it to bounce off of you. And that can be self-affirmations, anything positive where you begin to literally reprogram yourself so you're a different person, and you're not going to do it overnight. I promise you that. You're not going to do it next week, a month. It could really take even years, but you have to be consistent with the self-forgiveness and letting stuff go and knowing that, yes, you may have made some terrible mistakes, but you can let that stuff go. Believe me. And how do I know this? Because I know that you're worth it. Last thing I want to tell you all is about self-care and how it helps us to heal. I have a question for you. Are you worthy? What does that mean? Are you worthy? Am I worthy? Worthy for what? Am I worthy for me to start putting myself first instead of last? That is all about self-care. It's putting yourself first. You have to get to the point in your life where you think, I deserve to have something a little better in my life. I deserve to feel love. I deserve to have someone be my best friend who's ultimately going to be me. Your relationship with yourself will determine your relationship with everyone else in your life. That is so important in regards to moving forward. Healing will take time, but you'll get there faster if you develop that relationship with yourself faster. So delve into self-help books, therapy, group counseling, religion, whatever it's going to take for you to get to a point where you begin to say, you know what, that was me back then. This is now my chapter 2, and I am a different person. I'm telling you right now, I'm living that. Here, from this camera, I am living that every day. I had my own past, my own chapter, but now I'm a different person. Like I said before, I get it. I had those thoughts, and sometimes those thoughts and true at the most inconvenient time, especially when you are trying to go forward and you are trying to overcome a mountain of anxiety of something that you know that you want in your life, but you have those things tearing you down, making you feel like crap about yourself. How dare you, Patrick, that you think you can do this? How dare you? Do you realize what you've done in the past? Do you realize those people that you've hurt, etc., etc.? You don't deserve love. You don't deserve success. Let me tell you right now, yes, I do. I don't care what y'all think. I love me enough to go forward. And there's a whole new life for me waiting, because I've made different choices about how I live my life, but more importantly, I've made choices about how I look at myself. And I am beginning to love myself. And when I say beginning, I mean it is a journey. I want to love myself 100%. But does anyone ever love themselves 100%? I don't know. But I'm on that journey. And there was a time in my life where I wasn't even on that journey. So maybe that's what I'm saying is I'm beginning to be on that journey. And this is why I love being a therapist. This is why I love being a life coach. I'm helping people also. I'm paying it forward to help them also love themselves. The people who come to my office do not love themselves. They have shame. They have overwhelming guilt. And I try to help them sort out, first of all, what is the difference between the two? And we go from there. And it is my goal and my hope and my passion to help them love themselves. And we do that through things like self-forgiveness, exercises about self-affirmations, learning about self-care, where we take care of ourselves and we begin to put ourselves, instead of last all the time, we start going up the chain so that we put ourselves first in life so that we can share that love with other people. You can't give away what you don't have. So don't tell me you're down here, you don't love yourself, but yet you love everybody else. That is not possible. You can have love for them, but what kind of love is that if you don't love yourself? How do you know what that feels like? You can't give it away. You can act like you love somebody else, but to feel that love for someone else, you must have it for yourself first. So this is my video today. Love yourself, but more importantly, forgive yourself so you can love yourself. I hope you all have gotten something positive out of this video. If nothing else, remember, this is your story. This is your life. It's your story to write or rewrite as many times as you want. Please check out my videos every Sunday. Please hit that subscribe button. Please ring that bell. Please have a good week.